A Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury. The sign on the wall seemed to quaver under a film of sliding warm water. Eckles felt his eyelids blink over his stare, and the sign burned in this momentary darkness. Time Safari Inc. Safaris to any year in the past. You name the animal, we take you there, you shoot it. Warm phlegm gathered in Eckles' throat. He swallowed and pushed it down. The muscles around his mouth formed a smile as he put his hand slowly upon the air, and in that hand waved a check for $1,000 to the man behind the desk.
Does this safari guarantee I come back alive?
We guarantee nothing except the dinosaurs. This is Mr. Travis, your safari guide in the past. He'll tell you what and where to shoot. If he says no shooting, no shooting. If you disobey instructions, there's a stiff penalty of another $10,000, plus possible government action on your return.
Eckles glanced across the vast office at a mass and tangle, a snaking and humming of wires and steel boxes, at an aura that flickered, now orange, now silver, now blue. There was a sound like a gigantic bonfire burning all of time, all the years and all the parchment calendars, all the hours piled high and set aflame. A touch of the hand and this burning wood, on the instant, beautifully reversed itself. Eckles remembered the wording in the advertisements to the letter. Out of chars and ashes, out of dust and coals, like golden salamanders, the old years, the green years might leap. Roses sweet in the air, white hair turns Irish black, wrinkles vanish, everything fly back to seed. Flee death, rush down to their beginning, suns rise in the western skies, and set in glorious east. Moon eat themselves opposite to the custom, all and everything cupping one and another like Chinese boxes, rabbits into hats, all and everything returning to fresh death, the seed death, the green death, to the time before the beginning. A touch of a hand might do it, the merest touch of a hand.
Unbelievable. A real time machine makes you think if the election had gone badly yesterday, I might be here now running away from the results. Thank God Keith won. He'll make a fine president of the United States.
Yes, we're lucky. If Deutscher had gotten in, we'd have the worst kind of dictatorship. There's an anti-everything man for you, a militarist, anti-Christ, anti-human, anti-intellectual. People called us up, joking but not joking. Said that Deutscher became president. They wanted to go live in 1492. Of course, it's not our business to conduct escapes, but to form safaris. Anyway, Keith is president now. All he got to worry about is
shooting my dinosaur.
Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tyrant lizard, the most incredible monster in history. Sign this release. Anything happens to you, we're not responsible. Those dinosaurs are hungry.
Trying to scare me?
Frankly, yes. We don't want anyone going who'll panic at the first shot. 6 safari leaders were killed last year, and a dozen hunters. Traveling you back 60 million years to bag the biggest game in all of time. Your personal check's still there. Tear it up.
Mr. Eckles looked at the check, his fingers twitched.
Good luck, Mr. Travis. He's all yours.
They moved silently across the room, taking their guns with them, toward the machine, towards the silver metal and the roaring light. First a day, then a night, and then a day, and then a night. Then it was day, night, a week, a month, a year, a decade. AD 2055, AD 2019, 1999, 1959, gone. They put on their oxygen helmets and tested their intercoms. Eckles swayed on the padded seat, his face pale, his jaw stiff. He felt the trembling in his arms, and he looked down and found his hands tight on his new rifle. There were 4 other men in the machine. Travis, the safari leader, his assistant, Lesperance, and 2 other hunters, Billings and Kramer. They sat looking at each other, and the years blazed around them.
Can these guns get a dinosaur cold?
If you hit them right, some dinosaurs have 2 brains, one in the head and another far down in the spinal column. We stay away from those. That's stretching lock. Put your first 2 shots in the eyes if you can. Blind them and go back into the brain.
Time was a film run backwards. Suns fled and 10 million moons fled after them. Think, every hunter that ever lived would envy us today. This makes Africa seem like Illinois.
The sun stopped in the sky. The fog that had enveloped the machine blew away, and they were in an old time, a very old time indeed.
Christ isn't born yet. Moses has not gone up to the mountain to talk with God. The pyramids are still in the earth, waiting to be cut out and put up. Remember that Alexander Caesar, Napoleon, Hitler, none of them exists. That is the jungle of 60,002,055 years before President Keith.
He indicated a metal path that struck off into the green wilderness, over steaming swamp, among giant ferns and palms.
And that is the path laid by Time Safari for your use. It floats 6 inches above the earth, doesn't touch so much as one grass blade, flower, or tree. It's an anti-gravity metal. Its purpose is to keep you from touching this world of the past in any way. Stay on the path. Don't go off. I repeat, don't go off, for any reason. If you fall, there's a penalty. and don't shoot any animal we don't okay.
Why?
They sat in the ancient wilderness. Far birds' cries blew on the wind, and the smell of tar in an old salt sea, moist grasses and flowers the color of blood.
We don't want to change the future. We don't belong here in the past. The government doesn't like us here. We have to pay a big price to keep our franchise. A time machine is a finicky business. Not knowing it might kill an important animal, a small bird, a roach, a flower even, thus destroying an important link in a growing species.
That's not clear.
All right. So we accidentally killed one mouse here. That means all future families of this one particular mouse are destroyed, right?
Right.
And all the families of the families of the families of that one mouse. With a stamp on your foot, you annihilate the first one, then a dozen, then 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 possible mice.
So they're dead. So what?
So what? Well, what about the foxes that don't need those mice to survive? For want of 10 mice, a fox dies. For want of 10 foxes, a lion starves. For want of a lion, all manner of insects, vultures, infinite billions of life forms are thrown into chaos and destruction. Eventually, it all boils down to this. 59 million years later, a caveman, one of a dozen on the entire world, goes hunting wild boar or saber-toothed tiger for food. But you, friend, have stepped on all the tigers in that region by stepping on one single mouse. So, the caveman starves. And the caveman, please note, is not just any expendable man, no. He is an entire future nation. Destroy this one man and you destroy a race, a people, an entire history of life. Stomp of your foot on one mouse could start an earthquake, the effects of which could have shaken our earth and destinies down through time to their very foundations. With the death of that one caveman, a billion others yet unborn are throttled in the womb. Step on a mouse and you crush the pyramids. Step on a mouse and you leave your print like a Grand Canyon across eternity. Queen Elizabeth might never be born. Washington might not cross the Delaware. There might never be United States at all. So be careful. Stay on the path and never step off.
I see. Then it wouldn't pay for us to even touch the grass.
Correct. Crushing certain plants could add up infinitesimally. A little error here could multiply in 60 million years, all out of proportion. Of course, maybe our theory is wrong. Maybe time can't be changed by us. Or maybe it can be changed in little subtle ways. A dead mouse here makes an insect imbalance there, a population disproportion later, a bad harvest further on, a depression, mass starvation, and finally, a change in social temperament in far-flung countries. Something much more subtle like that. Perhaps only a soft breath, a whisper, a hair, pollen on the air, such a slight change that unless you looked close, you wouldn't see it. Who knows? Who really can say he knows? Guessing. But until we do know for certain
Whether our messing around in time can make a big roar or a little rustle in history, we're being careful. This machine, this path, your clothing and bodies were sterilized, as you know, before the journey. We wear these oxygen helmets so we can't introduce our bacteria into an ancient atmosphere.
How do we know which animals to shoot?
They're marked with red paint. Today, before our journey, we sent Lesperance here with a time machine. He came to this particular era and followed certain animals.
Studying them?
Right. I tracked them through their entire existence, noting which of them lives the longest. Very few. How many times they mate, not often. Life's short. When I find one that's going to die when a tree falls on him, or one that drowns in a tar pit, I note the exact hour, minute, and second. I shoot a paint bomb. It leaves a red patch on his side. We can't miss it. Then I correlate our arrival in the past so that we meet the monster not more than 2 minutes before he would have died anyway. This way, we only kill animals with no future, that are never going to mate again. You see how careful we are?
But if you came back this morning in time, you must have bumped into us, our safari. How did it turn out? Was it successful? Did all of us get through alive?
Travis and Lesperance gave each other a look.
That'd be a paradox. Time doesn't permit that sort of mess, a man meeting himself. When such occasions threaten, time steps aside, like an airplane hitting an air pocket. You feel the machine jump just before we stopped. That was us passing ourselves on the way back to the future. We saw nothing. There was no way of telling if this expedition was a success. If we got our monster, or whether all of us, meaning you, Mr. Eckles, got out alive.
Eckles smiled palely.
Caught that! Everyone on his feet!
They were ready to leave the machine. The jungle was high, and the jungle was broad, and the jungle was the entire world forever and forever. Pterodactyls soaring with carnivorous gray wings, gigantic bats of delirium and night fever. Eckles, balanced on the narrow path, aimed his rifle playfully.
Stop that! Don't even aim for fun, blast you! If your gun should go off...
Where's our Tyrannosaurus?
Up ahead. We'll bisect this trail in 60 seconds. Look for the red paint. Don't shoot till we give the word. Stay on the path. Stay on the path.
Strange. Up ahead, 60 million years, election day over. Keith made president, everyone's celebrating, and here we are, a million years lost, and they don't exist. The things we worried about for months, a lifetime not even born or thought of yet.
Safety catches off, everyone! You first, Eckles. Second, Billings. Third, Kramer.
I've hunted tiger, wild boar, buffalo, elephant, but now this is it. I'm shaking like a kid.
Everyone stopped.
Ahead, in the mist, there he is. His Royal Majesty now.
Out of the mist, 100 yards away, came Tyrannosaurus Rex. It came on, great, oiled, resilient, striding legs. It towered 30 feet above half the trees, a great evil god, folding its delicate watchmaker claws close to his oily reptilian chest. Each lower leg was a piston, 1,000 pounds of white bone sunk in thick ropes of muscle sheathed over in a gleam of pebbled skin like the mail of a terrible warrior. Each thigh was a ton of meat, ivory, and steel mesh, and from the great breathing cage of the upper body, those two delicate arms dangled out front. Arms with hands which might pick up and examine men like toys while the snake neck coiled. And the head itself, a ton of sculptured stone, lifted easily upon the sky. Its mouth gaped, exposing a fence of teeth like daggers. It closed its mouth in a death grin. It ran, its pelvic bones crushing aside trees and bushes, its taloned feet clamping damp earth, leaving prints 6 inches deep wherever it settled its weight. It ran with a gliding balanced step, far too poised and balanced for its 10 tons. It moved into a sunlit area warily, its beautiful reptilian hands feeling the air.
Why? Why? It could reach up and grab the moon.
Shh, he hasn't seen us yet.
It cannot be killed.
He had weighed the evidence, and this was his considered opinion. The rifle in his hand seemed a cap gun.
We were fools to come. This is impossible.
Shut up!
Nightmare.
Turn around, walk quietly to the machine, we'll remit half your fee.
I didn't realize it would be this big. I miscalculated, that's all. And now I want out.
It sees us! There's the red paint on its chest!
The tyrant lizard raised itself. Its armored flesh glittered like 1,000 green coins. The coins crusted with slime steamed. In the slime, tiny insects wriggled so that the entire body seemed to twitch and undulate, even while the monster itself did not move. The stink of raw flesh blew down the wilderness.
Get me out of here. It was never like this before. I was always sure I'd come through alive. I had good guides, good safaris, and safety. This time I figured wrong. I've met my match and admit it. This is too much for me to get hold of.
Don't run. Turn around. Hide in the machine.
Yes.
Eckles seemed to be numb. He looked at his feet as if trying to make them move.
Eckles! Not that way!
It covered 100 yards in 6 seconds. A windstorm from the beast's mouth engulfed them in the stench of slime and old blood. The monster twitched, its jeweler's hands down, to fondle at the men, to twist them in half, to crush them like berries, to cram them into its teeth and its screaming throat. Its boulder stone eyes leveled with the men. They saw themselves mirrored. They fired at the metallic eyelids and the blazing iris. Like a stone idol, like a mountain lion, Tyrannosaurus fell. The body hit, 10 tons of cold flesh and stone. The monster lashed its armored tail, twitched its snake jaws, and lay still. A fount of blood spurted from its throat. Somewhere inside, a sack of fluids burst. Sickening gushes drenched the hunters. They stood red and glistening. After the avalanche, a green peace. After the nightmare, morning. Billings and Kramer sat on the pathway and threw up. Travis and Lesperance stood with smoking rifles, cursing steadily. In the time machine, on his face, Eckles lay shivering. He had found his way back to the path, climbed into the machine. Travis came walking, glanced at Eckles, took a cotton gauze from the metal box, and returned to the others who were sitting on the path.
Clean up.
They wiped the blood from their helmets. They began to curse too. The monster lay, a hill of solid flesh. It was like standing by a wrecked locomotive or a steam shovel at quitting time, all valves being released or levered tight. Bones cracked, the tonnage of its flesh off balance, dead weight snapped the delicate forearms caught underneath. The meat settled, quivering.
There, right on time. That's the tree that was scheduled to fall and kill this animal originally. You want the trophy picture?
What? We can't take the trophy back to the future. The body has to stay right here where it would have died originally, so the insects, birds and bacteria can get at it, as they were intended to. Everything in balance, the body stays. But if you want, we can't take a picture of you standing near it.
The two men tried to think, but gave up, shaking their heads. They let themselves be led along the metal path. They sank wearily into the machine cushions. They gazed back at the ruined monster, the stagnating mound, where already strange reptilian birds and golden insects were busy at the steaming armor. Eckles sat there, shivering.
I'm sorry. Get up! Go out on that path alone. You're not coming back in the machine. We are leaving you here.
Lesperance seized Travis's arm.
Wait!
Stay out of this. This fool nearly killed us. But it isn't that so much, no. It's his shoes. Look at them. He ran off the path. That ruins us. We'll forfeit thousands of dollars of insurance. We guarantee no one leaves the path. He left it. Oh, the fool. I'll have to report to the government. They might revoke our license to travel. Who knows what he's done to time, to history.
Take it easy. All he did was kick up some dirt.
How do we know? We don't know anything. It's all a mystery. Get out of here, Eckles.
I'll pay anything, $100,000.
Travis glared at Eckles.
Go out there. The monster's next to the path. Stick your arms up to your elbows in his mouth. Then you can come back with us.
That's unreasonable.
The monster's dead, you idiot. The bullets cannot be left behind. They don't belong in the past. They might change anything. Here's my knife. Dig them out!
Eckles turned slowly to regard the primeval garbage dump, that hill of nightmares and terror. He returned, shuddering 5 minutes later, his arms soaked and red to the elbows. He held out his hands. Each held a number of steel bullets. Then he fell. He lay where he fell, not moving.
You didn't have to make him do that.
Didn't I? It's too early to tell.
Travis nudged the still body.
He'll live. Next time, he won't go hunting game like this. Okay? Switch on. Let's go home.
1492, 1776, 1812. They cleaned their hands and faces. They changed their caking shirts and pants. Eckles was up and around again, not speaking. Travis glared at him for a full 10 minutes.
Don't look at me. I haven't done anything. Who can tell? Just ran off the path, that's all. A little mud on my shoes. What do you want me to do? Get down and pray?
We might need it. I'm warning you, Eckles. I might kill you yet. I've got my gun ready.
I'm innocent. I've done nothing.
1999, 2000, 2055.
Get out.
The room was there as they had left it, but not the same as they had left it. The same man sat behind the same desk, but the same man did not quite sit behind the same desk.
Everything okay here?
Fine, welcome home.
Travis did not relax. He seemed to be looking through one high window.
Okay, Eckles, get out. Don't ever come back. You heard me. What are you staring at?
Eckles stood smelling of the air, and there was a thing to the air, a chemical taint so subtle, so slight, that only a faint cry of his subliminal senses warned him it was there. The colors white, gray, orange, blue, and the wall and the furniture and the sky beyond the window were, and there was a feel. His flesh twitched, his hands twitched. He stood drinking the oddness with the pores of his body. Somewhere, someone must have been screaming one of those whistles that only a dog can hear. His body screamed in silence in return. Beyond this room, beyond this wall, beyond this man who was not quite the same man seated at this desk, that was not quite the same desk, lay an entire world of streets and people. He could not feel them moving there, beyond the walls, almost like so many chess pieces blown in a dry wind. But the immediate thing was the sign painted on the office wall, the same sign he had read earlier today on the first entering. Somehow, the sign had changed.
The word time is spelled with a Y, name with an I, year with two E's. They sound unchanged, but the letters, they tell a different story.
Eckles felt himself fall into a chair. He fumbled crazily at the thick slime on his boots. He held up a clod of dirt, trembling.
No, it can't be. No little thing like that, no.
Embedded in the mud, glistening green, gold, and black, was a butterfly, very beautiful and very dead.
Not a little thing like that, not a butterfly.
It fell to the floor, an exquisite thing, a small thing that could upset balances and knock down a line of small dominoes, and then big dominoes, and then gigantic dominoes, all down the years across time. Eckles' mind whirled. It could not change things. Killing one butterfly couldn't be that important, could it?
Who won the presidential election yesterday?
You joking? You know very well. Deutscher, of course. Who else? Not that fool weakling Keith. We got an Iron Man now. A man with guts. What's wrong?
He dropped to his knees. He scrabbled at the golden butterfly.
Can't we take it back? Can't we make it alive again? Can't we start over?
He did not move. Eyes shut, he waited, shivering. He heard Travis breathe loud in the room. He heard Travis shift his rifle, click the safety catch, and raise the weapon.